Hello and welcome to English Story TV, the YouTube channel and podcast that is designed to help you improve your English. I'm your host Emily, and today's video is about a question we often ponder as language learners. Can you get fluent just by reading? So let's dive right into this interesting topic. Many learners, perhaps even you, love reading. It's a wonderful way to immerse yourself in a new language, to soak up words in context, and to enjoy learning without the stress of speaking. But is it enough to make you fluent? Let's explore what it really takes to become fluent in English or any other language you might be learning. Firstly, we need to understand that reading is a fantastic starting point. It introduces you to new vocabulary, shows you grammar in action, and helps you see how sentences are structured. Think of it as gathering the building blocks you'll later use to construct your own sentences. Reading can also immerse you in the culture that surrounds a language, which is incredibly important for understanding how native speakers use words and phrases in everyday conversation. However, while reading is a powerful tool, it has its limits when it comes to developing fluency. Fluency isn't just about recognizing words and being able to translate them in your head. It's about using the language effortlessly in real-time conversations. And here's where the physical aspect of speaking comes into play. Speaking a new language is a physical skill, much like playing a sport. Just as athletes need to train their muscles to perform specific movements, language learners need to train their mouths to produce new sounds. If you've ever tried to speak a language that has sounds not found in your mother tongue, you know it can feel as if you're doing a small workout. This physical aspect of speaking can only be developed through practice, actual speaking practice. Moreover, speaking involves more than just pronouncing words. It requires you to think in the language and to do so on the fly. You have to pull words from your memory, organize them into grammatically correct sentences, and adjust all of this based on the reactions of the person you're speaking to. It's a dynamic process, one that reading alone cannot fully prepare you for. So while reading enriches your vocabulary and gives you a solid grasp of grammar, it should ideally be one part of a larger, more comprehensive language learning routine. This brings us to the concept of balanced language learning. A balanced approach includes reading and listening, input, as well as speaking and writing, output. To develop true fluency, you need to engage with the language in multiple ways. Let's imagine learning English with a balanced approach. You might spend time each day reading articles or books, which builds your understanding of structure and vocabulary. Parallelly, you would listen to English through movies, podcasts, or music, which helps train your ear for the natural rhythm and pronunciation of the language. But importantly, you also need to speak. This could be practicing with a language partner, speaking out loud to yourself, or using language apps that prompt you to speak. Each of these activities trains different skills, getting you closer to fluency. Now, many of you might wonder, when should you start speaking? Some methods suggest speaking from day one, while others recommend building up a foundation of vocabulary and grammar before you dive into conversation. In my experience, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It depends a lot on your personality, your learning style, and even the opportunities you have to practice. But remember, the earlier you start speaking, even in simple sentences, the sooner you'll begin to feel comfortable using English in everyday situations. To sum it up, reading is a powerful tool in language learning. It can take you far, introducing you to complex ideas and varied vocabulary. However, to achieve fluency, you need to complement reading with speaking, listening, and writing. Think of each aspect of language learning as a piece of a puzzle. Only when you put all the pieces together do you see the whole picture clearly. Let's explore some practical ways you can enhance your language learning beyond reading. One of the most effective methods is integrating what I call active reading. When you read, don't just pass your eyes over the text. Instead, engage with the material. Here's how. Summarize each paragraph. After reading a paragraph, take a moment to summarize what you've read in your own words. This checks your understanding and helps reinforce the material. Look up new words. Keep a notebook or a digital document where you jot down new vocabulary. Don't stop at just writing the words down. Make a point to use them in sentences of your own. Read aloud. This combines reading and speaking practice. Read passages aloud to work on pronunciation and fluency. It's a great way to prepare your mouth to make new sounds, as we discussed earlier. Discuss what you read. If you're in a study group or have a language partner, discuss the content you read. This not only tests your comprehension, but also enhances your ability to argue and discuss complex ideas in English. Write about it. After reading, try to write a short essay or a summary of what you've read. This practice will improve both your writing skills and your ability to recall and use new vocabulary and structures effectively. Moving on from reading, let's talk about listening. Listening is critical because it exposes you to the natural flow of the language. When you listen, you're not just hearing words. You're absorbing pronunciation, intonation, and the rhythm of English. To improve your listening skills, listen to varied content. Include a mix of content types in your listening practice: podcasts, movies, news, and songs. Each format offers something different in terms of speed, vocabulary, and style. Use subtitles sparingly. Start with subtitles if you need them, but try to wean off as you become more comfortable. Challenge yourself to understand the gist without reading along. Shadowing. This technique involves repeating what you hear in real time or just after you hear it. It's excellent for improving speaking fluency and getting the rhythm and pronunciation right. Listening for details. Try to listen for specific information. This could be practice exercises like listening for numbers in a news report or understanding all the ingredients in a cooking video. Interactive listening. Engage with interactive English learning tools and apps that require you to listen and respond, simulating a real conversation. Speaking, on the other hand, is the active use of the language and is critical to becoming fluent. Here's how you can practice speaking effectively. Language exchange. Find a language partner or join a language exchange group where you can practice speaking English. This gives you the opportunity to practice in a conversational setting. Record yourself. This might feel a bit awkward at first, but recording yourself can be very revealing. You'll notice patterns in your speech, recurring mistakes, and areas where you hesitate, which are all great feedback. Public speaking. Join a local or online group where you can practice public speaking in English. This is great for building confidence and fluency under pressure. Daily practice. Make it a point to speak English every day, even if it's just talking to yourself about your daily activities. Consistency is key in language learning. Use technology. There are many apps and online platforms where you can practice speaking English. These tools often use AI to provide feedback on pronunciation and fluency. Combining these practices will significantly boost your language skills. Reading provides the foundation, listening builds understanding and familiarity, and speaking brings active use and fluency. It's important to remember that language learning is not linear. It's a complex interplay of various skills that come together over time. You'll find that some days are more challenging than others, and that's completely normal. Before we wrap up, I'd like to remind you that becoming fluent is a journey. It involves consistent practice, a willingness to make mistakes, and the patience to keep going even when it feels tough. So keep reading, keep listening, and definitely keep speaking. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to leave a comment down below. See you next time.